Hey guys, Adam here, back and refreshed for 2021 and the new wedding season. In today's video, I wanted to talk about film pacing. As wedding videographers, we fall into this trap all the time of only showing 2 or 3 seconds of a clip before cutting to the next clip. I've watched a lot of wedding videos over the years, and myself included, we tend to show a clip for no more than 3 seconds before cutting to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And because we've got so much footage to cram into often a 5-minute film, I think this is why people cut through clips at the same pace and speed every time. And then of course we see others doing it and we feel validated and think it's the right thing to do, and the cycle goes on. And this happens without any consideration for the pacing that you are creating within your film. Now, pacing is a real filmmaking technique. It's a conscious choice, or at least it should be, to use this tool as a filmmaker to tell a story. It conveys a feeling and an atmosphere within your viewer. Sometimes the film is fast-paced, sometimes it's not. Ultimately, you have that choice. But as wedding videographers, we often don't make this choice, and there's no consideration. And I can see this in my own films, let alone others. If we look at Hollywood examples, it's obviously very different. Some films will cut clips every second or two, and it's fast-paced and it's action-packed, and as a viewer it gives you this sense of urgency and excitement. Think fight scenes and car chases, and it's really thrilling to watch. And at the opposite side, a filmmaker will sometimes choose to show the same clip for 30 seconds, a minute, even longer. And this to me is more interesting as an artistic choice, because a slower pacing can be used in action-filled, fast-paced films to abruptly contrast with the rest of the cuts. For example, someone like Zack Snyder will suddenly go from loads of quick cuts to slow-mo, and it's abrupt and you notice it. But slower pacing will often also be used in romance scenes, because the filmmaker wants that emotion to be drawn out. They want you to feel it, and it's quite calming and still. And on the flip side, slow pacing can also be used to create suspense and real tension with the viewer. A classic example where slow pacing works really well is in horror films. As an audience, you already know that if a shot is really slow and drawn out and it doesn't cut, then you know that something is coming. And the longer that shot goes on, the more uncomfortable you become watching it. The more the tension builds, you get this sense of foreboding. It's really effective. Take the recent war film 1917. If you've not seen it, it's a fantastic movie. That was filmed intentionally to be a one-shot film, so the whole film is stitched together to look as if it's one continuous shot. And it follows the two protagonists from their point of view through the trenches, and it never deviates away from them. And as a viewer, it feels like you're in the trenches with them, experiencing what they're experiencing. And this was obviously the filmmaker's intention, and it really does work in terms of suspense and in terms of storytelling. So you can see that pacing is actually really, really important for creating certain emotions in the viewer and actually telling a story. And it's something that we should all be considering in our wedding films. When is the appropriate time to use more cuts and a faster pace? To me, the obvious example of that is the dancing footage during the evening of a wedding. Using more cuts at this time and only showing clips briefly creates more energy and more euphoria. You can actually make it seem like there was more going on at this party than there actually was sometimes, and really accentuate the footage that you have. Likewise, for other parts of a wedding day, you can really slow things down to draw out emotions. For example, when the bride walks down the aisle, or the first time her father sees the bride, or a first look.
Hi, Nathan Kill. Take you, Zoe Victoria Birtwhistle.
Even during a drinks reception or a casual part of the day, if you can frame a shot to show a lot of guests laughing and interacting with each other, and there's lots of little stories happening all in the same sort of scene, then why not leave that clip recording for a while and let it play out? Let the viewer find all the different little interplays, the little stories between clusters of people, the longer that they watch it. Let the scene breathe and tell its own story. So the next time you pick up your camera to hit record, consider how long you might want to show this clip for when you come to edit. And maybe leave that shot running for an extra few seconds, 20 extra seconds. Always consider what it is you're looking at and what pace that scene should have. Have a play with it. So I hope this was useful and has given you something to think about. Something I always try to do is to think about actual filmmaking techniques, such as pacing, from real Hollywood examples, and then how I can apply that into wedding films. It's something I find really interesting. So if you want to see me do more films like this, there is a link in the description to a video all about match cuts. And if there's any other techniques you think I should explore, then please comment and let me know. And subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.